Zachary looks very happy to be up here. I hope he maintains that enthusiasm throughout.
And I think he's going to. He won the die roll with the 6 over a 4, so it looks like Vanquish Soul will be going first, which is an incredible start for them. They definitely can play going second, but off to a way better start going first. Let's see if he has access to Vanquish Soul Rosin, the key card here in this strategy, as it lets you add any Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand, and he does have it.
Off to a good start.
We'll chain effect failure.
Effect Veiler on Jason's side of the field just negates it, from his hand rather.
Yep. Let's see, does he have, if he has one of the bigger Vanquish Soul monsters in his hand, he'd be able to return it to his hand and still resolve it. It doesn't look like he does. Gonna use Stake Your Soul here, revealing a dark. Maybe a little sequencey could have done things a little different here, because he could have gone Stake Your Soul, reveal the DD Crow, add Heavy Borger or potentially to the field. But we'll see what he decides to get. It looks like he might be going for Dr. Madlove, since it is a dark.
He did also, note that he did also reveal DD Crow, which does give Jason some good information, because that is a card that could otherwise ambush him on his turn.
And a card that's pretty good against Chimera. The Chimera strategy is you're able to just DD Crow that Chimera fusion.
Exactly.
Or any one of those illusion monsters that might be summoned back from the graveyard. So Dr. Madlove, when it's summoned, is going to be able to add a Vanquish Soul spell or trap from the deck to the hand. Let's see what Zachary is going to add. Looks like he's thinking about his options. And checks his hand real fast. Make sure you don't want to add something you already have a copy of. So he's going to go for the new trap, Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. Soul Snow. It's hard to say those two words in a row without just saying snow. But it is a really cool trap card out of Age of Overlord. It came out alongside the Vanquish Soul Xiao Long. But this card has a number of effects, and based on the different attributes you reveal, you get more effects. And if you reveal all of them, you end up being able to destroy the whole field while your own monsters are protected from being destroyed.
Right, so if you reveal one monster, you get to special summon a Vanquish Soul monster from your hand. If you reveal 2, it protects all of your Vanquish Soul monsters from card effects. And if you reveal 3, it destroys all monsters on the field. So if you're able to reveal all 3 attributes, you get each of those effects in succession. Your Vanquish Soul monsters are protected from destruction by card effects, and then all of your opponent's monsters get destroyed.
That's right, it's a pretty powerful card. So we see the Link summon here for Rock of the Vanquisher. Rock of the Vanquisher is going to add back the rosin to the hand. And now, since that effect failure was used, Zachary's going to be able to activate triple Tactics Thrust. He's going to have to set it face down since Jason doesn't have any monsters. But he could grab something like an Infinite Impermanence here that would be useful.
Yeah, we'll see what he gets. In Master Duel, Dimensional Barrier has become a popular main deck card, specifically for this situation. Looks like he wants to set Reinforcement of the Army, even though he can't activate it.
Yeah, it looks like he might not have any normal traps that set out of his deck. So he's going to go ahead and go for that Reinforcement of the Army, thinking about the next turn. Looks like he's going to set the Snow Devil.
Okay.
Not the Dust Devil, the Soul Snow Devil. Very similar names.
Yeah, with 3 cards in his back row, I'm not sure how many cards are left in his field, left in his hand, but I don't know if he's going to be able to reveal all 3 attributes with the Snow Devil.
Don't know, and it looks like Branded Opening. I can only imagine this is coming down during the draw phase. He's going to discard Nibiru, the Primal Being. Not a great card against Vanquish Soul when they only summon 3 times. And that's going to spell summon Alubert, the Jester of Despia, to add Branded Fusion from the deck to the hand. You can add any branded spell or trap, but in Branded Chimera, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be Branded Fusion. Now, Branded in the strategy is kind of like the subtype, where you want to be able to use the Branded Fusion to get your, like a Rinbrum on the field, to be able to send the Mythical Beast to the graveyard, so you're able to get access to the Chimera cards as well.
So now he enters his main phase, and I think we might see that Branded Fusion slam down. There it is, Branded Fusion. Let's see if Zachary has anything that can stop it.
Yep, avoiding those Infinite Impermanence columns just in case Zachary has one set. He knows there's a Reinforcements of the Army in that middle column. He knows one of those other 2 is probably going to be the Soul Snow Devil. And then 1 mystery card face down. So Branded Fusion is going to send down that Quarter Century Secret Rare Fallen Alabaz out of the 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection. And there's the Gazelle. This is going to summon Rinbrum, the Striking Dragon, which is already a really good card on its own. But he's going to get to the effect of Gazelle as well.
And we will chain Gazelle effect, since it's used for future summon. Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws.
So that gets him an illusion monster.
Yep, going to be looking for, you can add Kotal here. In Cornfield Kotal, you can discard to add a card that mentions Gazelle, I think, and then you're going to be able to add Mirror Sword Knight. Mirror Sword Knight is the main card of this deck that you're going to want to summon. You're able to tribute it off and get to Baphomet, and the Baphomet will be able to add 2 cards from your deck to your hand.
the power of being a level 5 monster.
So cool. So let's see if he does follow this up by using the Coattail to send it to the graveyard to add that Mirror Sword Knight.
YCS competitors, I need the following 2 players onto the main event stage, please.
Looks like he's thinking about his options.
Michael Francis
Oh, no, he's going to normal summon Fallen Albaz.
Fallen Albaz effect.
So he's going to try and fuse with this Rock of the Vanquisher, I'd imagine.
Discarding 1 card. What?
Discard.
Yeah.
Looks like he's considering he's going to discard Crossout Designator. So it doesn't target what it fuses with. I can only imagine it will be the extra deck trying to go for Mirror Jade. This is going to prompt Zachary to use Rock of the Vanquisher to special summon from the hand. Now Jason is going to chain the Renbrum to negate that effect.
Chain the 2, chain the 3.
And then he could also return a card on the field to the hand afterwards. With that Renbrum, the Striking Dragon.
Looks like Zachary has no additional chain, so Fallen of Albaz's effect will resolve, and he will be able to fusion summon using one of Zachary's monsters.
Yep, and it looks like he isn't going to return anything there with the Renbrum.
And
Yep, going to go with that monster from the extra deck so you can make Mirror Jade.
2 special summon Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon.
There he is.
Okay.
Probably these are my 2 favorite Fallen Albaz fusions.
Mirror Jade's insane.
Oh yeah, such a
Cool.
good card. It's the gift that keeps on
Battle.
giving.
Even when it leaves, it has the parting gift of destroying all of your opponent's monsters in the end phase.
We will attack into.
But meanwhile, Jason is going to
Madlove
attack
with
with Renbrum into Dr. Madlove and destroy
and then we will
it.
attack for 3,000 directly. So
And Mirror Jade's 3,000 attack points hit directly, dropping Zachary down to 5,000.
All right, so
Go
Jason
to
looking to try
second
and
main
control
phase.
the game here. Mirror Jade still has the effect
set
to be able
1
to use
card
on Zachary's turn.
and attempt
Looks like he's going to set a card face down. I think it is the Chimera fusion. So it looks like he's going to be relying on having the Renbrum, Mirror Jade effect, plus a Chimera fusion to go into something like Guardian Chimera. Not a bad amount of interruptions. Looks like the judges aren't familiar with Stake Your Soul, so they're going to check the text on it. It does work the way he used it. He was able to reveal a dark, special summon a dark.
That in the graveyard for Rock, not raising it. Yeah, I messed it up.
I'm not certain.
Oh, the monster gets returned to the hand in the end phase. Did you miss that?
Oh, did he not return the Mad Love?
It was just destroyed in battle, so I guess he
okay.
did not. So it looks like that was caught just now. And we're going to have to figure out how that gets corrected.
Yeah, I think that you just put the Mad Love back in his hand, I think. I mean,
That kind of affects his entire turn, though.
does it? I guess I can
Right?
kind of
He
see.
sort of had to strategize around getting it off the field.
It's a giant soldier of stone. Is it that big of a deal? I mean, it does. It did probably impact his turn. I don't think it impacted his plays too badly, but it might have, just having that monster out on the field. Yeah, I also sometimes forget about Stake Your Soul being able to return, because a lot of the times it doesn't really make a difference in Vanquish Soul, because you're going to special summon, like, usually you use Stake Your Soul to summon Rosin. Rosin's going to add, like, Heavy Borger, or one of the ones that can return, and you go and return it back to your hand anyway to special summon the Borger.
Exactly, before it can get returned by its own card effect.
Yeah, but in this case...
Yeah, that was definitely not a standard opening for Vanquish Soul. For the
It was
Vanquish
very
Soul
interesting,
deck.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he managed with what he could do after getting hit by Effect Veiler and having no Vanquish Soul monster that can chain its effect to return Vanquish Soul Rosin to his hand. So, we'll see how they resolve it, whether it just becomes an accepted game state and Heavy Border and Mad Love ends up in the graveyard, or they put it back in his hand.
Yeah. Oh, looks like we've advanced the game state already. He did put it back in his hand, probably received a penalty, minor. So he's going to use Reveal a Dark and a Fire.
And then you summon something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll allow him to special summon a monster from his hand and protect it.
Okay.
And it looks like he's going to summon the Rosin and
Is there an on-summon effect?
Yes.
Try and add.
Has, add a Vanquish Soul monster for my deck to my hand.
Okay.
All right, Rosin's effect activates.
see what he decides to add. It's going to probably either be, I mean, it has to be Heavy Borger here. This is actually a huge turn of events, having that Mad Love in the hand.
That kind of helps.
But it's the way
out,
it's supposed to be. This is the way
Yeah.
the game was supposed to play out.
You'll notice Zachary's life points are also now 2,500 points lower because he had to take a direct attack from Renbrum.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if he would have tried to find a way to put a little more damage because he has that Chimera fusion that he could have used to try and
to
win the game.
To win the game,
That's a little brutal. But I mean,
That's,
Jason also didn't notice the game state to keep up with it as well.
Yeah.
Both players are supposed to keep up with all the resolution of all the effects as well, but I'm sure Zach did receive a penalty for that. But we'll have to see how much it impacts. He does have that reinforcement the army set. He added the Caesar Varius off the rosin. He's still going to have to navigate his way through this Renbrum, the Striking Dragon, the Mirror Jade, and the potentially set Chimera Fusion that I think he has face down.
No easy feat. And we saw the cards in Zachary's hand now. When he revealed them with the Snow Devil, I believe he revealed the only 2 cards he had in his hand.
Yep, the Rosin and the Mad Love.
So then he summoned the Rosin, so he doesn't have that much to work with.
Yep, gonna reinforcements for another Rosin. Oh, I see an Ash Blossom, which is a fire.
Effective Raisin.
So now he's gonna use
Fire and Dark.
Raisin's effect here to reveal a fire and a dark to try and destroy a monster in the same column. So he's going after the Renbrum.
Chain Mirror Jade.
But that's going to prompt Jason to use the Mirror Jade to get that Rosin out of the column.
Albion.
It's a good play.
And to banish a monster on your field.
Give me just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Banish.
So banish that.
Yeah.
And since he's no longer in the column, there's no column for them to do.
Yep, not going to be able to destroy this Renbrum here.
And then effect.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Effective Albion. Like, do I have to declare the effect now?
Nope. Albion will activate at the end phase. It just sits there and waits and looks pretty for now.
So then I will.
That's Albion, the branded dragon.
Will normal summon Raisin.
Zachary normal summons Raisin. First one was special summoned by the effect of Snow Devil.
At the end phase, so now it's a new turn, so he'll be able to use the effect to add again. We know he has the Caesar Varius, the Mad Love, and an Ash Blossom.
Oh, I didn't realize that the previous one was special summoned in the end phase. So I guess he drew Ash Blossom for turn.
Yep, I think so.
I see.
And he's going to go for Jiaolong. This is the brand new one out of Age of Overlord. It looks like the quarter century secret rare. This one has the cool effect you can reveal 2 fires to add any Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand. And he's definitely going to have the 2 fires.
There's Caesar Varius.
Bounce this to special this guy.
He's going to try to special summon it by returning.
Nope, nothing here from Jason. Now it's back to Zachary, sitting on only 2,500 life points because he was able to attack directly with that Renbrum and the Mirror Jade. So he's going to link away the Varius for Rock of the Vanquisher. He still has the Renbrum effect.
Rock's effect is special.
Imagine he's going to use Renbrum here to negate Rock of the Vanquisher. If an extra deck monster essentially activates its effect, you can negate it. Now he's going to pay 500. Continue. I love this card. It's like when you lose it at the game, you want to keep on playing. Pay 500. You got to pay to keep on going. And it's going to special summon back a Vanquish Soul monster from the graveyard. So he's going to bring right back that Caesar Varius.
Reminds me of putting a couple more tokens in the machine.
Exactly. Yep. I love the concept behind the Vanquish Soul.
He'll drop down to 2,000 life points.
Before you go to battle. Yep. Still in main phase.
Still in main phase. Going to activate Chimera Fusion.
Yeah. No, I can't activate that, actually.
Nope.
Yeah, I can't activate it.
He tried to activate it, but it looks like he legally can't.
Because I don't have a beast or fiend.
So
he doesn't have a target to be able to fuse.
So if that's the case, I expect he'll probably receive a warning.
Yeah, this also makes me feel a lot better about the previous turn. So he didn't have a way to use the Chimera Fusion to try and go for games. So this was the only play that he really had to go for it as well.
Does he summon in defense?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no. A little sloppy here. The day's been going on quite some time. We're already in round 6.
Continue battle phase?
But he did enter the battle phase, I think. So he's in the battle phase with the Rock of the Vanquisher and the Caesar Varius.
Okay.
Yeah, continue only special summons it in defense position. And he did enter his battle phase.
I am just going to end my.
Since it's not a super heavy samurai monster, it's not going to be able to attack there.
Zachary saying, I am just going to end my turn. Yeah, a little bit of nerves. But at the end phase, the Albion, the branded dragon, is in the graveyard. He's going to be able to either add or set a branded spell or trap from his deck, and he's going to go for branded fusion and add that to hand. I mean, that's the thing about Mirror Jade. You use branded fusion to summon the Mirror Jade, and then the Mirror Jade puts the Albion in the graveyard, so you get another branded fusion for next turn, and you just keep the money moving. And now it's Jason's turn. He draws, doesn't have too much to deal with, just has to worry about the Valius and the Rock. But he's just going to go straight to battle phase. He has Renbrum to negate. Zachary's at 2,000.
I'll negate.
And Rim Rum does negate the Rock's effect.
And he could also return the Valius to the hand if he wants. He just doesn't.
There's no
bounce it.
need. He just needs an attack over the Rock of the Vanquisher to just win.
He can't attack. He needs to kill the Valius first, but yeah, just
That's not a
the
problem.
Aluber taking it down easy, and now the Rock is going to be destroyed by Mirror Jade, and that's going to be game number 1 for Jason. You know, a little few miscues there from Zachary, but, you know, I think that the game was always in Jason's control. It seemed like he was always going to be able to win it.
I think you're right. I think it played out the way it would have played out had they correctly resolved Stake Your Soul immediately and
Definitely.
add love to the hand. Hard to know for sure without knowing all of Jason's cards, but he ended up winning anyway.
Yeah, he definitely, if he...
But we can at least say the outcome was not changed by it.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was in complete control the whole time. I mean, that's what's so cool about the branded Chimera deck is like all your cards are so strong. Like, oh, I just drew branded opening. That's going to give me access to branded fusion, which gives me access to the Chimera engine as well. And just for people talk about, oh, don't ash the branded fusion in this deck because Mirror Sword Knight's the one you want to go after. But you can see Jason just using the branded fusion, not worrying about Mirror Sword Knight, just focusing on the Albaz aspect of the deck and still able to take the win pretty easily there over Zachary's Vanquish Soul.
I've never heard anyone say don't ash branded fusion. Do people
It's
say that?
It's the new thing, yeah. Because
is that a
it's
thing
the
now?
bait. Yeah, it's the bait. Because if they have Branded Fusion and Mirror Sword Knight, the Branded Fusion is really only going to get them Rinbrum, and then the Rinbrum will give them access to the Mirror Sword Knight, right? And then you use the Mirror Sword Knight. The Mirror Sword Knight is where you things like start snowballing. You want to ash the Mirror Sword Knight because you can deal with the Rinbrum, but the Mirror Sword Knight turns into Chimera Fusion, a Guardian Chimera on their turn, a Guardian Chimera on your turn. So it's kind of like, it's a little dicey because then also you could just be playing against regular branded deck. And especially when you see branded open for Aluber, you might think that it is just going to be branded, Despia branded, like the deck we've seen in the past, and maybe they aren't including the Chimera cards because you don't always see cards like Aluber and stuff.
Yeah. And if you ash the branded fusion, they may not have the Mirror Sword Knight.
Exactly. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You're just going to have to pick your poison and decide which one you're going to go after with Ash Blossom.
But it's nice having two tremendous threats in the deck that are both vulnerable to Ash Blossom, so if one gets hit, you can still use the other one.
Yep.
I know a lot of people consider the branded deck, specifically branded without the Chimera addition to the deck, extremely vulnerable to the negation of the branded fusion.
Definitely.
So I think the new iteration of the deck has incorporated the Chimera cards, and I think the deck itself has seen a lot of success because of it.
Yeah, it definitely really helps with the classic Ash my branded fusion problem for sure.
Really, it was really highlighted on Master Duel over a long period of time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And now looks like they are shuffled up and side decked. Zachary is going to be going first. I can only imagine here in game number 2. So it's time to duel yet again here in our 6th round of Swiss. Let's jump right into it. It's game 2, round 6. There's only going to be 3 more rounds after this. So let's see what happens here. Both these players sitting on 1 loss. They're going to want to continue with that 1 loss. Even though if they take the 2nd loss, since we are playing Swiss rounds, they will not be out of the tournament just yet. But they definitely want to win this one to put themselves in good positions. 5-1 is a pretty good record. And Zachary leading off already with a stronger hand with Kashira Finrir. Kashira Finrir, really good in Vanquish Soul. Not only is Finrir an incredible card, it lets you add the Kashira Rise Heart, which is a fire monster, which is one of the attributes you really need in this deck, especially with the addition of Vanquish Soul Jiaolong. And, well,
is there any particular
he needs
advantage?
an Earth here, so he's getting the Finrir instead.
There we go.
Yep.
Any particular advantage to putting an attack position on your first turn going first? Typically, I'd put it in defense position since its stats are the same for attack and defense.
Worried about Lightning Storm.
And you're not vulnerable to Lightning Storm.
Well, I play Manadium with Finrir, so I'm always putting defense mode because I'm trying to draw my extra card with Rykard as well.
That's a good benefit as well.
But I do agree. I like to put him in defense mode as well. But it doesn't look like there's any Vanquish Soul cards here from Zachary.
Well, that might be a little rough. He just sets 2 cards to his back row and passes.
It is just the Finrir. Oh, man. Will this be enough?
Finrir can do a lot, but I don't know that it'll stand up to a strong hand by Jason.
Nope, Jason just has one.
Set 1 pass.
It looks
that
like
is not what he wanted to do.
We're going to have a grindy match here. We're going to have to see what Zachary's going to be able to do. Does he draw? If he just draws 1 Rosin, it could really bust this duel wide open.
Fenrir made it to the next turn, and he's going to get another Zerg from his deck.
Surely it's going to be Rise Heart this time. So now he'll have an Earth and a Fire, 2 of the attributes you need. Earth, Fire, and Dark are the 3 attributes that Vanquish Soul really revolve around.
He's going to have the full effect of Snow Devil active in no time, assuming he has Snow Devil.
Very true. Let's see if he decides to get aggressive and start summoning the Rise Heart, trying to get some more damage in there. He can even special summon the Rise Heart.
He
but
can. He's banished some cards from the opponent's deck, face down.
About a face.
Maybe you'll get lucky, hit some good ones. But no, he's just going to attack with the Fenrir. Almost certainly the safe play.
Oh, yeah, definitely want to save those attributes in your hand. I mean, Vanquish Soul is all about amassing that advantage and then snowballing your opponent out of the game.
Sometimes it is very tempting, though. You see your opponent has a really weak starting hand to just start expending your monsters, throw them onto the field without using their effects to their full capacity, and just attacking to just try to take that quick win.
Definitely. Now we have some more spell and trap cards in the back row for Zachary. Let's see if Jason can draw something useful here. I imagine his set card must just be something like Infinite Impermanence.
Could be.
But now he has to guess which zone to activate his... He doesn't have any monsters, so he doesn't have to worry about Infinite Impermanence quite yet. But if he does commit a monster, it's something he's going to have to watch out for later in this turn. Just another spell and trap card.
Oh.
Never a good sign when you start your turn by setting cards face down unless you're playing Unchained.
What is he drawing? What is in his hand?
Jason looks like he's also trying to figure out the answer to that question as well.
He has 7 cards. What are they?
We will normal summon Ash Blossom.
He's going to normal summon Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
Always where you want to be. Normal summon Ash Blossom without a monster to tune it with.
Maybe it's something like Change of Heart.
Could be. That would be quite good.
Anti-spell fragrance. Okay. I will...
Flip Change of Heart. Please do it.
Which was set on the previous turn.
Okay, so he does have the Chimera Fusion in hand, so he can chain that to the anti-spell fragrance.
Okay.
Thanks to Chimera Fusion being a quick play.
Oh, Dimension Barrier.
Imagine he's going to call fusions here and just leaving Jason with that attack mode. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay, the Chimera Fusion goes back to the graveyard. Dimensional Barrier fusions. No fusion monsters can be special summoned for the rest of this turn.
Proceed to end phase.
And, oh, man, he's ending his turn with an Ash Blossom in attack position.
Sure.
Not what you want to see if you're Jason.
Sure.
Maybe already thinking about what he's going to side deck for game number 3. Things aren't looking great for him in this game. Because even now with the anti-spell, that's a huge card against Chimera, the Chimera deck, because you can add back that Chimera Fusion, but you won't be able to use it right away.
Yeah, that is really powerful.
To banish it face down.
Yep.
He's going to have to get a Chimera on the field to even bring it back, but we'll see.
Doesn't even want to put the Ash Blossom in the graveyard, decides to go ahead and use the Fenrir to banish that Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring face down.
Why not? There's nothing else to banish.
For another attack.
All right.
And now it's Jason's turn. Looks like he's thinking about doing some end phase. Nope, draws for his turn.
Next turn, we may see a Rise Heart join the battle and finish out Jason's life points. Sorry, Rise Heart, not a Rise Heart.
Very similar.
Similar names, not similar in power.
Nope, definitely not. One leads to the other, but Rise Heart definitely a little easier to manage than a Rise Heart.
We'll set one face
And looks
down.
like this is the best turn he's had, being able to set a monster on the field at least.
I think I saw Baphomet in his hand.
I would be not surprised if he had that Baphomet. That is the one downside of this deck. Is Baphomet is a level 5 monster.
It is, so it has that level 5 powerful effect. But
Yep.
if you draw it, you're going to have to tribute summon it if you want to get it on the field.
And it banishes face down? Or?
No,
No.
it only banishes something.
Fenrir's only face up,
Okay.
so definitely can't banish. Yeah.
Oh,
Ash
another Ash Blossom. Oh, was this a triple Ash Blossom hand?
It's at least a double, and Fenrir's going to take it down. Man, that Rise Heart would have been done. You can't do that. You have anti-spell fragrance on the field.
Did he just flip that card?
Did he? Was it set?
For 6.
No, because the barrier was in that zone. Cannot activate Pot of Prosperity here.
Oh, no.
He has the anti-spell there. I saw it come from his hand. Yep.
You are right. That is the dimensional barrier zone.
Is
So.
it the reshuffle? Is it the reshuffle?
Yeah, you want me to read?
No, you don't reshuffle. They reveal to both players. PE minor warning here to Zachary. Oh,
Looks-
never mind. I guess we're going rogue and reshuffling the deck.
It's the first time I've actually played anti-spell all day long.
Yeah.
Zachary saying it's the first time he uses anti-spell. I love the yep from Jason. Good to know that you drew it against me. Yep.
Happy to be your first victim.
Yeah, I know.
That's really comforting.
I wasn't really wanting to come on here.
I don't know how much the anti-spell fragrance really hurt Jason because he was struggling before it was flipped.
It's just more salt in the wound here at this point.
Draw.
It's at least going to cut him off from being able to top deck a certain number of cards to get back into this
Stand
game,
by
but
me.
It is.
but with just so many defensive options and not the ones he wants.
I see a Nibiru in his hand, which did not line up well against that Keshira Fenrir beatdown.
I'm shocked he didn't side it out. Maybe not enough cards to put in to side out those cards that aren't so great against Vanquish Soul. Or he could be worried he's playing like the super heavy Samurai Vanquish Soul deck, which does summon enough times into Nibiru.
Yeah, he may have just been thinking, I'm going second. If he summons 5 times on his first turn, Nibiru will be a blowout. But I guess Vanquish Soul doesn't do so often.
Not really, yeah. A lot of times it's like 3 or 4 at most. Unless they're going for like a rank 4, or as I mentioned, they use the super heavy Samurai engine to go into the rank 4, the Dempsey.
So Zachary finally summons Rosin and then uses effect to add Heavy Borger to his hand.
Heavy Borger, best Borger, my favorite Vanquish Soul card. Not only does it let you draw a card, you could use the other effect and just do some direct damage to the life points.
That can come in handy here with Jason only at 3,200.
Move to battle.
Yep.
24.
Sure.
Oh, well, yeah. Fenrir's
If he
attack
takes
brings
it-
him to 800, and then Rosin is just going to attack to finish the duel.
A tough game there from Jason. His deck just kind of not giving him what he needs, and a duel that went on probably longer than it should have, but Zachary able to walk away with the Game 2 victory to even out the series. But you can see Jason focused, not letting it get to him. Really, that's what you got to do. You're up a game, and you lose Game 2, not a big deal. You're going to finally be able to go first here in game number 3. I believe Zachary's gone first both the games so far, so that's going to be nice. And then diving into the side decks is going to be huge here. I imagine now that he drew those cards, like the Nibiru, I mean, Ash Blossom is, I would not side those out against Vanquish Soul. It's just unfortunate that you drew too many of those. But Nibiru, especially going first, probably going to hit the side deck for sure.
Agreed. Even for the, as you mentioned before, even going second, it was unlikely to come up and be the blowout that he had potentially hoped for.
Oh, yeah.
But going first, it's
easy
much
side out.
worse,
Easy
so
card
it's
to
an
side
easier
out.
decision to make.
Yep, and he doesn't have to worry about, I mean, even though he didn't draw great, even if he had a good hand, that anti-spell fragrance, that dimensional barrier was going to give Jason a tough time for fighting back into that game. But now that he's going first, doesn't have to worry about those cards anywhere near as much. But I think his main focus, just give your deck a good shuffle. You want to make sure you don't draw a hand like that again. You want to make, we haven't got to see Mirror Sword Knight come down, but it's one of the stronger cards in the deck, being basically a Lone Fire Blossom. You're able to tribute it off from your field to special summon one of those Chimera monsters, or monsters I mentioned, Chimera Fusion, like the Baphomet. And I really want to see it resolve. I'd love to see him have Mirror Sword Knight and Branded Fusion in the same hand. It's one of my favorite decks. I mean, Duelist Nexus was just such an incredible set, and it brought a new card type into the game. Really, that doesn't ever happen. I mean, it's been like 6 years before that when Cyberse was introduced with, the Vrain series coming out, and now we have Illusion. And the cool thing about Illusion, it's new, but it's old also, because it's like one of the original card types from, like, maybe you played in like one of the older video games. They had like Illusion monsters in there as well.
Very cool. I still remember the release of Psychic Monsters.
Oh yeah, that was the first new one.
Like, I was a kid back then, obviously, and I was thinking, like, this is the coolest thing ever. I can't believe they created a new type of monster.
Krebons, it was crazy.
Krebons, yeah, emergency teleport. Bring out Krebons. That was the play back then.
Psychic Commander, big fan of him
Psychic
as
Commander
well.
was nice. It was basically a 1900 attack monster that gets under bottomless trap hole.
Definitely. And gives you access to Black Rose Dragon being a level 3 with teleport.
That was pretty sweet too.
Every time there's like a new card type that comes out in Yu-Gi-Oh, I really like to pay attention to it and like see how good it is. Like even like with the worms, like they were like, oh, what are worms? Now the worms have been incredible throughout the years. We had Sword Soul maybe being the best worms.
Yeah.
I mean, along with the Tenyi cards as well, and then of course the Yang Zing monster is incredible. But I'm always excited to see when a new card type comes out to Yu-Gi-Oh, and Illusions are the most recent one, and we see them here in our feature match of round 6 of YCS Richmond. Now they're side decked and ready for game 3. Let's see if Jason can get a little bit of a better hand and have favor turn his way here in game number 3. It's time to duel in Richmond, Virginia. It's game 3, round 6. Let's do it.
They have their hands drawn. Looks like they're ready to begin.
Good luck, man.
Both players saying good luck before game 3 starts. Gotta respect that. All right, Jason, summon Mirror Sword Knight. Oh, I see Gazelso's hands are already better, but he's going to start with a Luber to add a branded spell or trap.
Well, that instantly indicates his hand is better than it was in the previous duel.
We'll get Branded Fusion. We'll attempt to activate Branded Fusion.
Gets Branded Fusion once more and activates it, but the Ash Blossom does negate its effect.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Mirror Sword Knight as much since the normal summon is gone here from the Luber.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going to shuffle. I just was thinking if I was going to go back in.
And it looks like this Ash Blossom is going to cut Jason off for his turn. I talked about not using the Ash on the Branded Fusion, but if the normal summon is spent, you 100% want to Ash Blossom that Branded Fusion.
Pass the turn.
Draw for my turn?
Yep.
Now plays back to Zachary. Not a good start here from Jason.
No, just a set one pass. He was really hurt by that Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And Zachary once again starts with Chimera Fenrir, which is a pretty good start in this deck.
I love Fenrir. Pretty good start in every deck. It's one of my favorite cards in the game right now. Really powerful. It's one of those tools that you can use going second. That's really advantageous. It's strong going first. There's just really nothing bad about Chimera Fenrir.
Yeah, it really is good either way, because if you're going second, your opponent likely has monster effects that they want to activate, and you're able to sort of put up a defense to it before you even commit other plays to the field. Since Chimera Fenrir will obviously threaten to banish your opponent's cards face down if they use those monster effects.
Yep.
And those specific monster effects don't immediately deal with the Fenrir.
But it is just Fenrir again. There's no Vanquish Soul monster to follow. It's not Fenrir into Rosin. It's just Fenrir to add Fenrir, just like we saw in Game 2. He's going to declare an attack, use the Fenrir effect to banish the Aluber face down so he can get in directly for 2,400 points of damage.
Not bad. Aluber is now removed from the duel face down.
Move the main phase 2.
Sure.
I will move the end phase.
Sure.
Wow, he ends his turn with no back rows. It's just a Fenrir.
Just Fenrir.
It's really,
Stand by me.
he's really counting on that Fenrir to protect him.
This is Jason's window. He may have got his Branded Fusion met by Ash Blossom on turn 1, but now he has a chance to get a normal summon in there again. If he can just deal with this Fenrir, I mean, even Fenrir's Banish Face Down effect, not terribly strong against the Branded Chimera deck. You should be able to play through this with so many effects that activate on summon. You're able to get the usefulness of the monster before the Fenrir affects you too bad.
So he summons Gazelle, so he'll use its effect.
Yep, so he gets to add, let's see what he decides to add. It is Chimera Fusion, so if he decides to use the Fenrir here in target, he'll be able to chain Chimera Fusion.
Assuming he has a monster to fuse the Gazelle with.
Yeah, but I have assumed that before, and they didn't have it, and I was like, oh no. You always assume they have monsters, but...
Well, we'll see if Zachary gets tempted to try to banish it face down.
Nope, he sees the writing on the wall that it would just be met by the Chimera Fusion, decides not to use Fenrir quite just yet.
I think that's the right play.
I think so too. Now,
more likely than not that Jason does have a monster to fuse it with. Especially given how his first turn played out.
Oh yeah, definitely with the one face down. And now here comes the Chimera Fusion.
Chimera Fusion.
Could be lots of Berfomets in his hand.
I see a Fallen Albaz and an Ash Blossom. Let's see if he just goes for Guardian Chimera to try and draw into some fresh cards here and also take the Fenrir out in the process.
Looks like it. He's going to fuse it with Fallen of Albaz and Ash Blossom.
Why can't I do this?
What's going on?
Looks like Zachary's trying to do something and being told.
Nope. Looks like just a miscue there from the judge.
Okay.
So he's going to be able to use the Chimera Fusion to fuse for 1 on the field, 2 in the hand for the best Chimera, Guardian Chimera.
Very nice. And its effect will destroy the Fenrir before Fenrir can banish it.
And he gets to draw 2 cards.
Guardian Chimera can be targeted otherwise, since he does not have polymerization in his graveyard.
Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah.
All right.
So it looks like he's going to go Chainlink 1 Guardian Chimera, Chainlink 2 Gazelle to add the Cornfield Kotal.
Coatl. And then Guardian Chimera will draw 2 and pop a card. So it's non-targeting.
Yep.
Okay. Draw 2.
Draws 1, draws 2. Ooh, I saw a branded opening. That would be huge here because he'd have access to Branded Fusion.
Activate Coatl in hand.
So he's going to be able to discard the Cornfield Coatl to add
Mirror Sword Knight.
Mirror Sword Knight. He already used his normal summon, but this will potentially be useful.
To battle phase.
Nope, doesn't. I could have sworn I saw him draw a branded opening.
At the beginning of battle.
Okay.
At the beginning of battle, he has something to use. Is it a Bestial?
Could be.
It is. He's going to go after that dark monster, the Fauna Albaz, and it's Bestial Druisworm.
Not a bad one.
Yep, not only going to be able to block his life points, but going to be able to take this Guardian Chimera out down with it. If it's into the graveyard, he can target a special summon monster on his opponent's side of the field and send it to the graveyard.
It's a good trade for Zachary. Protect your life points and trade the Druisworm for the Guardian Chimera.
Essentially a Sakuretsu armor.
Yeah, from the hand.
From the hand, pretty cool, pretty cool. And then Jason just sets 1 card face down and ends his turn. Maybe he didn't draw a brand. Oh, maybe he only plays 1 Aluber.
Yep.
There could be a chance he's playing just a very... Oh, it does! I just checked the deck because he only plays the one copy of Lure, so it's actually a horrible draw.
Oh, man.
Not a good one. Oh, no.
There's that follow-up Fenrir, searched for by the first Fenrir. So Zachary's going to special summon again, use its effect, and we'll see if he gets a Rise Heart or a regular Rise Heart or a third Fenrir. If he plays 3 Fenrir. It's really awkward when I talk about a singular Rise Heart.
Just Rise, yep. And it does look like he adds that third copy of Fenrir. Looks like Jason double checking what the Druis Worm does.
Is destroying by battle the same thing as sending?
Yeah.
Send from field to grave?
Sorry, I guess you're asking.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep. And now it looks like Zachary just has the Fenrir. He's relying on Fenrir on this game, just like he did in the other game. Vanquish Soul Rosin is MIA here.
Quite the Vanquish Soul strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Summon Fenrir attack.
Vanquish Soul Kastira Fenrir, yes. I mean, that's just the power of Fenrir. It can help you, like in your deck, even if you don't draw like your engine cards, you can just rely on the constant pressure of Kastira Fenrir.
It's true. It doesn't necessarily integrate well into certain strategies, although it does integrate better into this one because it has a matching attribute to what the Vanquish Soul monsters require. But sometimes when you draw it instead of your main engine, it can carry you to the victory in the duel.
Yep, and we see Jason with his own copy of Fenrir, and then immediately goes into Mirror Sword Knight, normal summons it, tributes it to special summon a monster that mentions Chimera Fusion, I believe. He's going to grab the Baphomet.
We will special summon Baphomet effect.
And Baphomet's going to let him add a Chimera Fusion and a level 4 Beast.
And or Chimera Fusion from deck to hand.
It adds 2 cards. Usually adds a Beast. See what he grabs.
I'll chain Fenrir.
Looks like it's going to prompt. Oh, but Jason's going to be able to. If he doesn't Fenrir the Fenrir.
I'll chain infinite permanence.
Oh no, this is devastating. So he can imperm the Fenrir. Not only will the Baphomet resolve, then he'll be able to use his own Fenrir to banish Zachary's Fenrir after this chain resolves. Cleaning up the board nicely. He said, "You have a Fenrir. I'll raise you 1 Fenrir, my own."
And he likely will do that. He likely will use this. Jason will likely use this Fenrir's effect to banish Zachary's, since there's nothing else to banish face down on his field.
Chimera Fusion and Gazelle, King of Mephisto.
So adds Gazelle and Chimera Fusion. Doesn't use the Fenrir, but he's probably going to go into... Maybe he's just going to fuse his 2 monsters away.
I guess it doesn't really matter because when Fenrir attacks, it can just banish the Fenrir.
Yeah, it's all the same either way. He's going to go into the Gazelle Fusion. That's a quarter century out of Duelist Nexus. It looks beautiful.
Is that okay?
So it's going to be, since the Baphomet was disintegrated, we can special summon back the Mirror Sword Knight.
That is Chimera, the king of phantom beasts.
It is quite the king. And he's going to add Nightmare Magician. This is the flagship illusion monster out of Duelist Nexus. Really strong card. If you can get it onto the field, when it attacks, you can take an opponent's monster, and then when another monster attacks, you can destroy a card in the field. So you get to attack, take, attack directly, attack with their monster, destroy a card.
Very cool.
I love Nightmare Magician.
Chimera Fusion's effect is activated from the graveyard, allowing Jason to return it to his hand, since he does have Chimera on the field.
So now he'll be able to do it again if he wants to go into something like another copy of Guardian Chimera. And he is going to activate the Chimera Fusion. If he has 3 different monster names, he can go into Chimera Fusion.
Using these 3 cards.
All right, so now he's putting the Gazelle in the graveyard to let him summon monsters from his graveyard during his opponent's turn. But he goes into Guardian Chimera from 2 on the field. Oh no, he's going into the new Baphomet. Or no, this is the old one. This is the old fusion that can attack multiple times up to the number of illusion monsters that he used.
It can only attack monsters? Or
it can attack monsters.
And that's Chimera.
It can attack.
This
Chimera,
is
the illusion?
Yep, the illusion beast. And this one can attack. It'll be able to attack, and so it's an illusion monster, and it can't be destroyed by battle with the monster it attacks, right? And then it sets its attack to 0, and you can just attack it again and attack it again.
And since he used 3 materials, it can attack 3 times.
Yep, so he'll be able to attack it, attack, and then attack with Fenrir for game if there isn't anything in Zachary's face down spell or trap cards.
That was a great play by Jason because he really thought far ahead by not using his Fenrir to banish Zachary's Fenrir.
He wanted it,
had he banished it face down, he couldn't attack it 3 times.
Yep, this was always the game plan he has. Judges look like they need to read the new. Well, it's not. This is Shrouded Duelist Nexus, still relatively new fusion.
You don't see this summon too often, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you'll take 7.
it's definitely a game ender.
So you go down to
Well,
73.
that's what Jason's hoping right now.
If effects are negated, its attack becomes 0. Okay.
So you
Attack
attack
again
again
for
for
31.
3,000.
I'll attack it again for 31.
31. So that's 62, 600.
So
Or sorry,
you take
700,
62,
69. And now you can attack
and
with Fenrir for
then I'll
game.
attack it with Cashier Fenrir for game.
Yeah, you got it.
And that's
That's it. Chimera, the Illusion Beast, attacks multiple times to allow Jason to win.
Man, just really showing off the power of branded Chimera. I mean, the Chimera cards are some of the best cards that came out of Duelist Nexus. We saw the beautiful quarter century secret rares, and you know they still got new cards. I don't think we really got to see any of the new cards here in this game, but they didn't. With decks like this, it's more tools, more options. Like there's a lot of cool things you can